Hi, so today's topic is what is corporate actions. Through this small video, I will help you guys to understand about corporate actions and all. I'll simplify this term first of all. What is corporate action? Okay, when we say corporate action, corporate means companies. Corporate means companies and action means events, right? Companies, so here we are talking about public limited companies, right? Public limited companies. And when we say event it means from annual general meeting to let's say liquidation of companies assets, liquidation of companies assets, that all event comes under the corporate actions, right? But that doesn't mean private limited companies events that will not be considered as a corporate action. And although even though private, I would say instead public, private and public both companies can announce corporate actions. Let's say public limited company, when they list their securities, right, from IPO, through IPO event, let's say when they list their securities, from that listing event to till the liquidation, all the events that comes under the corporate action event. The similar way, same logic will applies to the private limited companies as well, because private limited companies, they raise the fund through preference equity, bonds, right? Here if you see, sometime you would see convertible preference equities or convertible bonds. And on equity, preference equity, every quarter or every month, that preference equity holders will receive the dividend, fixed amount of dividend. The same way bond holders will receive interest payment or coupon payment on quarterly or yearly. So in these cases as well, you would see corporate actions, right? So when we say corporate, it means we are talking about public and private limited companies, where companies announce events or actions. So that events, we call it here as a corporate actions. So I hope now you betterly understood about corporate action, or action means what it is exactly, right? Few examples that I just would like to brief about. Let's say stock split, right? Stock split. So here we're going to develop separate series on separate, means each event in detail, from a fund accounting aspect, from a processing or prime broking aspect. So don't worry about it, just follow this series till the end. So I'm going to continue this series, right? So where you would see each and everything in details, but I just want to brief you about what are the actions which comes under the corporate actions. Stock split, merger acquisition, right? Tender offer, name change, right? That all comes under your corporate actions or events, right? So event, it's a language so that we used in corporate action process. So that all actions or events, we call it here as a corporate actions. So we gonna develop the full series on a different event types or key aspects or life cycle of corporate actions. And also I would request you to attend the series till the last, okay? And don't miss any sessions. So we would see a lot of insightful information which you haven't seen anywhere on YouTube, okay? All right, so this is all about your corporate actions. I'll take you ahead. So here sometime, if you see, you can write this down or take this screenshot, guys, if you want. This is a very insightful information. Whatever that I have briefed it out, the same information I drafted here. If you see, what sometime you may expect question in your interview process, like what is corporate actions, Then you need to brief like corporate action. It means it's an event initiated by the public limited company. But here instead public limited, I would say you should say not only public limited, but also the private limited as well. So instead that's a company that brings or could an actual change to the securities, equity or debt. Equity or debts, that it means bonds issued by the company. Corporate actions are typically agreed upon by company's board of directors and authorized by the shareholders. Promoters or board of directors, CEO of a company, they communicate with the shareholders, they schedule the elections or meetings, and they take the consultation from the legal experts, and then after they come up with the event or action. So that actions we call it as a corporate actions, right, in short. So for some events, shareholders or bondholders are permitted to vote on the event, and examples of corporate actions include stock split, dividends, mergers and acquisitions, right issues, and spin-offs. So in short, I would say wherever you would see the impact on shareholders value, so in that case it's a mandate to schedule a meeting and to take the consultation from the stockholders, or to schedule a voting where they can cast the vote to schedule that event. And then after, once they have a one third vote, one third, it means out of 100%, let's say they required 75% voting to announce the corporate action events. Otherwise that corporate actions event will be cancelled automatically if they don't have enough votes in place, right? But here the point is about the wealth of investors. If the wealth of investor is getting affected due to any action, in that case voting is compulsory, and that events we call it as a mandatory as well. So we announce it, we take it out, and then after we announce it, because due to merger and acquisition you would see impact on shareholders wealth, due to stock split you would see impact on shareholders wealth in short, I would say the quantities and all. Due to spin-off as well, you would see impact on shareholders wealth, due to rights, because those all are capital based events, right? Capital based events where directly capital will be impacted, and that's what shareholders voting is important. Okay, the other point is some corporate actions such as dividend for equity securities or coupon payment for a debt securities may have a direct financial impact on the shareholders or bondholders. Another example is call or early redemption of a bonds security. Sometime company can announce early redemption of a bonds, and that events comes under your voluntary one, because it's a voluntary action. If that particular investor fulfill that particular requirement, then company can announce or investor can announce early redemptions as well, right? Those are directly where you would see impact on shareholders wealth, right? And here other examples apart from this: coupon for debt, and the dividends for equity. Apart from that, the other corporate actions such as stock split may have an indirect financial impact, as the increased liquidity of shares may cause the price of the stock to decrease. Some corporate actions such as name change or the address change, ticker symbol change, you would see sometime company announce it. Sometime you would see where company will announce only ISIN. When the ISIN is expired, then company will announce new ISIN, new QC, new CEDOL. Right? In that case, you won't see any impact on shareholders value, and that events you don't, even company don't require voting and all. Company can or board can directly take the decisions and confirm it to the shareholders. But if you see any impact on shareholders value, in that case voting procedure is important. So we'll see each and every events upcoming time, right? So I'll take you ahead. So out of this small video, so two questions you may expect. One is what is corporate action. So just you can refer the first slide which I have briefed it out, and the explanation, if you want, write it down all this, and the same way you can brief this. Okay. And about third question, or I would say second question here, you may expect like why company will announce the corporate actions, or in short I would say purpose of the corporate actions. What would be the purpose of the corporate actions, right? So you should know this. So I'll take you ahead. So there are three main purposes which you would see why company announce corporate actions. One is corporate restructuring. Corporate restructuring. When we say restructuring, your spin-off come into picture, right? Spin-off come into picture, merger and acquisition come into picture, right? So these are the restructuring events where company want to restructure. In short, delisting of shares, that also comes under your restructuring. Company want to delist the securities from the open market, right? And company want to privatize the company, or sometime you would say company now it is a private limited company at current point in time, but they want to public limited company. So in that case also you would see restructuring in place. So it means why company announce corporate actions. One of the major reason is corporate restructuring, rebuilding the business, or redesigning the business models and all. So in that case where you would see corporate actions or events come into picture, right? So another important purpose or reason is impacting the share price. Why share price will be impacted, and what are the different events which may or due to that events where you would see impact on share price. I'll give one example here: stock split and reverse stock split, right? Due to that you would see share price will change automatically, right? Why company will announce it? There would be again another question: why company will announce stock split and all? But yes, as I said, just attend the series. I'll simplify this complex corporate action terms or different events in a very layman way which you guys can understand and you can crack any interview, right? So one assurance that I want is stick with the topics, be there, like and subscribe, and share this content with others if you like this. Okay. So another one is impacting share price, right? That's the another main purpose why company announce corporate actions. And the third purpose is distributing profit to the shareholders. Why company will do this? Because company want to distribute the profits to the shareholders. And what are the then events comes under this category? Let's say cash and stock option, DREAP, dividend reinvestment plan, and cash dividend or stock dividend. So these are the events which comes under the distribution of profit. So these are the main three purposes where company announce corporate actions. And one more additional purpose that I would like to highlight, where you would say sometime company want to announce the bankruptcy. In that case also company announce this corporate action events where company announce bankruptcy event, and through that company process with the liquidation or delisting of securities and all, right? So all these three purposes comes under this corporate why company announce corporate actions. And I'm sure definitely you would expect questions on this part as well. And if you guys if you have attended any corporate action or fund accounting interview, and if you would have seen like this question, so you can post your answer in comment sections, how you have dealt with or answer to this question and all. Okay. So apart from this, I would like to discuss few challenges which you would see with the corporate action events. different corporate action events. So if you see, back office workers are overwhelmed by constant information overload, which needs to be checked on a multiple systems throughout the day with separate login credentials, right? So most of the brokers, custodians, or the different participants who are the part of this corporate action ecosystem or life cycle, they need to check the depository portal, stock exchange, or the individual web pages if they have, then liquidity management, core client accounting systems for funds or different investment businesses and all, swift coding, commenting, messaging that needs to be checked out on a daily basis, emails from the different counterparts, agent banks, registrar, or issuer company of events and all, we need to check it and all. So these are the challenges where so here we'll have to need to manage each and everything, need to manage each and everything on a daily basis, right? So it's a very important to know this, and there are the challenges. So where I have heard where up to 30 to 40% automation is possible in case of processing corporate actions or reconciling corporate action positions or breaks and all. So you might see more automation in place on some of the areas of the corporate action business line as well. But yes, again, it is one of the critical business line where you would expect high packages and salaries. It's a deadline based job. Every day you would see deadlines in terms of processing corporate action and all. If you are looking for corporate action course, full course that we have designed, so which we provide end-to-end insight, then you can attend this. I'll give you the link in description. You can check and purchase the course, right? So so next topic would be merger and acquisition. So we'll start different events. So I would say be there. So we're gonna share, as I said, very insightful information and all. So next topic would be what is merger and acquisition. So so next session that will continue from this topic. So be there and send your thought on the same in comment section as well. And the question would be, you can post in comment section, what do you know about merger and acquisition, and how will you process that merger and acquisition in a corporate action business, or what is the impact on NAV, net asset value of a fund, of this merger and acquisition event. So try to answer to your questions, otherwise attend the session, I will answer to those questions. Okay, so we'll see you in next session. So till now, bye, take care. And if you're looking for any training and courses, you can check the description in below.